Recently, you've spent a couple of months very systematically interviewing the teams working on foundation models, which also laid the groundwork for the report that we mentioned and that we're about to publish. And as the editor of the report, I'm actually quite curious to know why you were interested in doing that report at this point in time, right? Because, I mean, you have a lot on your plate as a co-founder of a startup. You're building a product, like you're releasing new products, right? But still you decided to take on an additional obligation of doing lots of interviews with like people in academia and startups and enterprises. Can you like tell us a bit about why you decided to do that research now and take that on?
Good question. I think people that knows me better, I think their answer would be that I like to overwork. But I guess on the subject, well, as you've mentioned at Neptune, we're building an experiment tracking tool, and pretty much when the first versions of GPTs came out, and even earlier, we decided to stay close to the most demanding builders out there, and they're actually focusing on training foundational models. So for me, it just makes sense to get out there and talk to the people that are actually doing the work, even if they don't use our product. As I want to really understand like what they're up against, and how we can ensure that we are building the best possible tool for them. But obviously, it's not just about that. What really got me interested in doing this report was really a few things. First off, well, we all see all those big names in foundational model training making headlines. But there are so many other companies out there doing really incredible work that don't always get the spotlight. And I really wanted to dig into what they're focusing on, what specific problems they're trying to solve with their models, and simply why they are not just using something off the shelf. Plus, obviously, it's fascinating to hear about those real world challenges and best practices these teams are discovering. So I guess if someone else is thinking about building own foundation models within their company, I believe we gathered some insights and brought it into this report, which could be very valuable. And I guess I'm also treating it as my small contribution to help the community move forward.